So now we're going to take a closer look at the importance of using drive and distortion along with filters in synthesis and how it's used to create really interesting dirty sounds just from simple waveform sources. So to demonstrate this, I've got Ableton's analog set up and we're just using a simple sine wave, so there's nothing fancy going on, it's just a sine wave. And I've also got Melder Span open at the top. And this is a free plugin which will allow us to analyze the frequencies. So if I press play, I've got this MIDI clip set up and it's just set to C1, so like a bassy C tone. And let's take a look at what this sine wave is doing on the frequency spectrum and also what it sounds like. So you can see it's a really basic output. So you've basically just got the fundamental, and you can kind of see the second harmonic down here. So if you look again, you'll see the second harmonic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use saturation, and you can use drive, distortion, tube saturation, any of these things to add in extra harmonics. Now harmonics just add more richness to the sound, and we've got second harmonics, third harmonics, fourth and fifth. And I can show you before we add saturation how we can actually just boost them in M-Saturator using the harmonics feature. So this isn't usually available on saturation plugins, but it's quite cool that it's in on this free plugin here, and I'm able to just use this as an example. So if I bring up the second harmonic while we watch the graph, and I just need to bypass that, so I'm just going to start again. So you can see we're able to raise that second harmonic there. Now if we bring that back down, we can go ahead and raise the third one. And let's try fourth and fifth. So it also raised the second harmonic, that one. And let's go to this last one. You can see it raised the third harmonic and also the fifth harmonic as well. So there's an easy way to do this that sounds a bit nicer, and that's to basically just add some saturation or distortion in there. So what I'm going to do is use the M-Saturator to bring the input up, and let's see what this does to the frequencies. And we can also play with this analog setting as well, and maybe the modes. So we could change through the different saturation modes. And that clip 2 really brings up the top harmonics as well. You can see as you get higher, it starts to just increase and add more harmonics as you go up the frequency bands. So what I'm going to do is find a nice sweet spot for this. I'm going to go back to the soft, and I'm quite happy with the input gain, so I'm just going to play around with the analog setting. And actually, for a bit of context, I've got this little MIDI clip playing, just with a few notes on. Let's have a listen to this. Sounds quite nice there. So what we can do now is we can add the tal filter. This is where the filter comes in. So we're able to shave off some of the top frequencies using a filter. So that sounds quite nice. So let's listen to before and after. So if I just group the M-Saturator and the filter and switch it off. So you can hear that we're able to add a lot more harmonic content and richness into the sound. Now another thing that we can do is we can add more saturation after the filter. And this will just react in a different way and add more harmonics onto the top end in a much subtler way in some cases. And you can blend it with the dry and wet as well. So what I'm going to do to demonstrate this is bring down the cutoff a bit more. And now I'm going to stack on another saturator. And let's just drive this and see what we can get out of it. That sounds quite nice. So what we can do there is we can use the dry and wet now to just bring a little bit of that in. Let's do a quick before and after on the extra saturator. So a massive difference compared to the original subtone. So that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to quickly demonstrate the importance of that, and maybe that'll give you some ideas when creating sounds. And it doesn't just have to be with synthesis. I mean, this technique you can apply to any sound source, but it's just a really good way of showing it by just simply using a sine wave. So, yep, now we're going to move over to the next module.